Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku's Showboat, and today is Sunday, October 4th, 2020. For those of you watching the VODs on YouTube, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. You can, of course, currently follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/otakushowboat, as well as support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. Yes, that was Ollie poking his head up. You may have noticed on the side. I've got both the kittens. They're being naughty, making noises around me this morning. So the biggest news for the day today and going forward is that this is going to be the final PyBlock stream. In case you were not aware, I will be going out of town next Sunday, actually, is when I'll be traveling, and I'll be out through the following Sunday. So I'm going to be missing this next two Sundays for PyBlock anyway. And since PyBlock has performed very poorly on views in recent times, over the past like month or so of streaming PyBlock, the whole reason to start streaming something else, Space Angels, was because of the poor performance on PyBlock. But it's so low, and even on the once per week, it was still, when I did stream it last Sunday, still pretty low performance by comparison to the other stuff. And well, the VODs aren't getting as many views as my other content, so I have had to make this decision, this really difficult decision, to just completely end it off, especially since I'll be missing it for 2 weeks going forward anyway, no matter what. So this will be the end of PyBlock. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do today? We're going to continue where we left off. If there's the game. There's also been some updates to the Pi suite with regards to like resource generation and things. I don't know. I haven't actually paid any attention to any of the updates that have gone through as of this morning. So I don't know. I haven't looked them up. I probably won't, because after today, I am probably not going to be touching this again for a good long while. Probably until after several more major updates to the Pi suite have gone through. Anyway, when we last met, I was... Gosh, what did I do when we last met? Oh my. That's a good question. I, at some point, had finished the rare earth oxide and cobalt extract processing and decided it was time to start to move on into stainless steel work. And to get into stainless steel, I need ferrochromium alloy. And to get ferrochromium alloy through the method that I wanted to use, I needed molten chromium on my network. And since I didn't have enough chromium to spare the molten chromium production, I decided to set up an additional mining and processing of chromium factory that specifically loaded molten chromium. So that's where we, generally speaking, left off last time. As far as my memory is concerned, over this past week, there's been lots over this past week. I think soil has changed on its icon. I think there were a few changes on the graphics, and soil was one of them. I don't really know why soil, of all things, got changed. There seemed to be some updates, removals of some Pi Alien Life later phase recipes, like later game recipes for some reason. I noticed some Thalwagi stuff got axed on the recipe names without migrating to a new recipe name, and a few of the Arthurian recipes seem to have also gotten axed. at the end. So if I go into Hell mod, I can actually have a look in particular at the Fowagi, because that was, excuse me, no, E. That was what I was most interested in seeing, because there were apparently changes on recipes. At least when I first loaded in, it came up with a message like, "Hey, these following recipes have been removed," and there was a bunch of Faugi and there was a bunch of Arthurians, among other things. I was like, huh, odd. Okay. Other than that, apparently resource generation has been changed, or is being changed yet again. So for anyone who wants to try to emulate any of my PySuite series thus far, using map sharing strings and all that, well, if they changed the fundamental resource spawning algorithms, chances are you're not going to end up with an exact match. I think even with RSO changing things around, because even I would imagine RSO is still basing its generation off of some settings that may or may not be influenced by the base game. So anyway, I'm heading off and over to my iron area, because even though I have now molten iron on my train network, I need to also add molten steel to make stainless steel, because that's a thing I need to do. We totally need steel molten on my network. Also, apparently, like the something involving reserves has changed on generation. Stuff is being updated. Things. Also, apparently, I've seen oil and tar nodes are getting overhauled, and I don't think I like it very much. From the description presented, it seems unnecessary. It seems like they're adding unnecessary complexity to a system that doesn't need it. But anyway, here's Ollie. Ollie, little Ollie has arrived. Big Ollie. Yes, there's the boy. There's that face. There's that face of the Ollie. There he is. Pretty boy. Coming to say hello. My voice is also probably a little bit weak today, just because of, I'm going to be away for some period of time, a little bit over a week, and I wanted to get all of my YouTube videos recorded for that period of time. And I've gotten a lot of them recorded for that period of time, but not all of them yet. On day before yesterday, it was Friday. I managed to get essentially all of my, or I got 7 videos recorded, of which, by the way, that's steel too? No, that's iron. 7 videos recorded, 6 of which were Factorio videos, and 1 was a quote-unquote tutorial video, which, yeah, it was just a simple, this is actual craft time video, and, I'm thinking that all of my tutorial videos over the course of this next week while I'm away are going to be that type of video. Actually, I want to get this so that I am avoiding going across the thing. I'd rather go up, over, and then down, just so that I don't have these random pipes to contend with. Just have to double check that I am in fact sending steel along the way. Oh, and hey, here's the molten iron. Let's follow this and do basically what I did with molten iron, with molten steel. Gee, I hope that's a good spot to run down. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, then I have to, like, get my alignment right. So, let's see. I'm going to load in from here. Let's do this. Let's see if I can actually get some greater than 0 amounts of stainless steel here on our final stream day, so that we know that we are near enough to the glorious, wonderful stuff that is Circuit 2s. Not gonna get Circuit 2s today, sadly. I don't think 3 hours is quite enough for that. We're going to search for steel. S steel molten, D steel molten. What is that? Oh, mol steel, okay. Fluid count on the molten steel needs to be greater than or equal to whatever value I so desire. Let's say 7,000, 7,500. Yes, Ollie? What you doing? Repositioning? Repositioning yourself? And then circuit condition, and you can do the glorious stuff as soon as you have a bit of fuel. Just a bit of fuel for you. All stored in that one tank. So now I am fully prepared to get into my stainless steel. But first, I have to make ferrochrome, or ferrochromium alloy, as I'm used to calling it. Because in case you were not aware, if you're somewhat new to the Pi Suite, relatively recently, as in a few months ago, Pyanodon incorporated a seemingly random person's pull request, set of pull requests for the mods in the Pi Suite that changed localization, as in changed and updated names across the board. It was a little disorienting. That's why we have medium power resistors now. That's why we have it's no longer circuit 2s now. It's what is it now? And it's not basic circuits anymore, or simple circuits. Yeah. This used to be circuit 1. This used to be circuit 2, not complex circuit boards and simple circuit boards. The intelligent units were intelligent units. The circuit 3s, I don't even know. Where's circuit 3? Do I even have that unlocked? I have all the PCBs for it. Where is it? Would help if I could remember the icon. Or I might just not. Oh, there. What? See, I said it would help if I remembered the icon. The icon has changed. So this is now high. This is the. And apparently there's a cooling system now. The icon, different icon. What? What? Requires one cooling system. That's new. That is brand new. What about you and MOSFETs? Yes, you still take MOSFETs. You take MOSFETs, and now cooling systems. Yeah, multi-layer SMD capacitors used to be capacitor 3. And the, high-frequency SMD inductors used to be, like, inductor 3, or something along those lines, I think. Low-power resistors, resistor 3. Those were the names. And this stuff is stuff. It is 1 to 5. Okay, marginal increase, but I hate the fact that this is now using advanced coding involved in making circuit 3s. Why do I hate the fact that this is advanced coding? Because advanced coding is uranium. I know that one off the top of my head pretty clearly. So advanced coding is a component used in production science, and it exists right here. I think that's the no, I am wrong. It's not the uranium one. It's the diamond one. That's the job. It's the diamond one, not the uranium one. I'm thinking of another thing involved this. The nuclear samples. That's what I'm thinking from purple science. Whenever I see advanced coding, I think purple science and I think uranium, but that's through the nuclear samples. How's that? How's that boy? How's that Ollie? How's that little boy? Big boy. Big boy. 6 months old at the time of this recording, and he is big boy. Big boy. Well, that's blah. Diamonds now for circuit 3s with a new icon. I don't really remember off the top of my head if it needed diamonds anyway. I know it needed gold, but did it need diamonds? No, I don't think so. Now it needs diamonds. Yay. Yay. Well, that does force people to go into diamonds, I guess, when they do their circuit 3s. Gold tends to push this past purple science anyway, unless you do particle acceleration for your gold early, which is also a bit of a pain to do because that's full boron processing to get into that early. Or vat brain. Or vat brain, purple science. That's always an option. Anyway, I'm taking a bit too much time here discussing these changes. Let's move on, shall we? I need to get over to one of these two things so that I can set up Ferrochrome. Glorious and beautiful Ferrochrome, formerly known as ferrochromium alloy. And this stuff is pretty simple. It's just molten chromium plus molten iron equals ferrochrome. Pretty good stuff. But I will need a lot more of it than what I will need for the amount of stainless steel that I'm making if I'm thinking of the future and the resistors. The medium-powered resistors, or whatever the heck they're called. These guys shall not exist like so. These are going to need to be fluids. And since I don't need a very high volume of the fluids, what I'm thinking is just setting this up to be like output, just connect them and put a tank down. A smaller tank down. Just like so. On both sides. With a wire connecting to the tanks. And I will request, since these hold a bit, 40,000 units, I guess I can keep these as the same constants here. Let me just make sure that I swap over and have a look at my stream manager and refresh my stream manager. See if I am good to go. I am. I apparently am. Although my preview isn't working. My stream preview does not function right now. It's like loading. I don't know why. Twitch being Twitch, I suppose, or maybe something with my browser, I guess. Just did a refresh and it's dead. It's dead. It's dead. Does not work. Maybe if I go to my own channel page. What's it show on my channel page? Infinite refreshing. That's what it shows on my channel page. Yay! Infinite refresh. I hope that's not a major problem across the board. Here, let's open up another browser and have a look at my dashboard in another browser. See what happens there. Okay, good. It's live. It's live. It's good. I'll use the other browser for this. I added a new extension into Firefox to help with the advertising. Twitch is being a lot more aggressive in preventing ad blocking these days. So yeah, more extreme measures are being taken to prevent the ads, and apparently that's impacted my ability to actually watch my own stream. Oops. Oops. I also need a regular thingy. Hard to get viewers while playing anything with Pi. Well, I sort of grew with Pi. Like that was my whole thing. Was I was playing the Pi Suite as one of the very few people actually playing the Pi Suite, and that attracted whatever few people, and I did manage to get viewers. And once Pyanodon was releasing Alien Life, that helped. People were interested in Alien Life, but that's died down a bit now, and I think because I'm calling this PyBlock, people don't really know what that is. I don't know if there's as big of a connection there in people's minds that this is PySuite C block. If I put like PyMods in the titles, or put Pyanodon's mods in the titles of all of the VODs, I might see more people coming in. But otherwise, yeah, there's not as many views these days, and there's not on the Pi Suite stuff. And I'm going to be away for 2 weeks, so this is just the opportunity for me to just close this particular playthrough off. I'll likely play Pi Suite again at some point, ideally after a lot of the major changes that have been discussed in the community and on Pi's Patreon page in particular. Once all that stuff is out and released, and we're a little bit more stable again in terms of the state of the game, then yeah, I'll very much like to come back and do another full playthrough. But as it stands with this, it's just not happening. What stuffs? Things like the space stuff getting finished for the Alien Life edition. There's a whole system where you'll be able to launch into space, and it'll be like Space Block, aka space exploration, where you have just a map that is space, and you build out your platforms and things, and you have to do stuff with the Alien Life, like the cosmic space dingrits. That's the big example there. The cosmic space dingrits are going to be done on that surface, and the Tholins will be done on that surface as well, etc., etc. Other things may be modified to use that system too. This needs to be a provider. Provide me stuff, or a loader. Excuse me. Oh, right. Cut. Paste. That's one tile off, because of course it is. That's a big change. How long till released? I mean, that was a long time. Let's put it that way. It's a ways off. That feature has been teased like as of several months ago at this point, and it's still being worked on. Because Planeton is also doing art for a series of new rockets, like rocket silo and rocket launch art for all this. It's yeah, it's a pretty big addition. That's and a pretty big mechanic change. Also, oil is going to change, and how you get oil from nodes, oil and tar apparently from nodes will be updated. You'll have to start spending drilling fluid on finding out what type of a node you have. Like, okay, fine. Alright, I need to bring in molten iron and molten chromium. On here are molten iron at FECR. The first are molten chromium at FECR. The first. You are the molten iron. Wherever that is, all the way down. Down. Further? Further, there you go. There it is. Molten iron. Molten chromium. And then I have to get it output. Oh, that is offset already. Good. I like. And this is being done, I think, in casting units, and I'll need a hot air setup. Yeah, let's have a look. Do I have casting units among all of this stuff that I will need to find? Casting. Casting units. This is the recipe. I will also need sand castings. Okay. How much ferrochrome is also a decent thought. Let's do 15. That sounds like a decent plan. That's 6 of these. With the wonderful hype logistics associated with that. Yeah, that's gonna be like so. That's 30 hot air. Slightly unfortunate, because that's 25 more than my blueprint. Yeah, you've been getting problems attracting people to PySuite. Well, the PySuite is very daunting, to say the least. People are very, very much intimidated by it. That's sort of why I have tutorials that I've been making to make it a little bit less daunting for folks, but it's hard to overcome the complexity and the intimidation by the complexity and just the amount of time that it takes to do a playthrough of it. It's an investment. It's an investment in time, a huge one, huge time investment. Huh? Oh, I did a. Wait, what? Hmm? Oh, I did this one. Right. Why does that exist when I have... Hmm. Anyway, this is the hot air. Let's see, the chromium is the darker, right? Yes. Okay, that's all of that. I now need to get the sand castings brought in. From somewhere. Let's make some sand castings again. I have a blueprint for this that I tend to use pretty ubiquitously. This does mean I need tar here as well. Let's get this pasted down and then output, get this belt line sorted, power sorted. Oh, this is the version that doesn't have the power poles. Oh, whoops. Alright, now you have power. Now I need tar. May as well just put down my standard unit from here. Tar. Tar. Oh, there's the thingy. It's just outdated. There's tar. Standard tar. Excuse me. I said standard tar. Well, there, I guess. I also need the voiding and the, yeah, stuff, things. This isn't a completely complete thing. Not quite yet, anyway. Also, there's the fact that with Factorio now, you know, released, there's also that, which, yeah, as I sort of anticipated, there's, I expected there to be a little bit of a bump in people interested in Factorio at the 1.0 release, but I also anticipated that that would very, very quickly fade, and, yeah, it's faded by this point. Make sure I get the correct orientation here on this guy. So I think overall, just Factorio in general is going to somewhat slowly, but still eventually, just not get anywhere near the amount of attention as it used to. Just by very nature of gaming. People will move on to other things and won't be interested in this anymore. They'll likely, there will be interest in any new mod overhauls. There might be interest in brand new PySuite modules for a time. There'll probably be some interest once Die World is finished. and if another major overhaul pops up, but until then, it's just downhill from here. At this point, it's the modding that'll keep it going, but if the modding stays stable without anything new and exciting, well, then it's just going to die. Straight up. It will not last. Another reason why I want to start streaming something other than Factorio at some point. Where's my... There. That guy. Well, I also wouldn't want them to push out a new patch anytime soon. Just because, well, patches are the bane of modders' existence. Just straight up, patches are the bane of modding and having to update mods. So anytime there's a real major patch to stuff, mods need to get updated, and that's like one of the main problems with Kerbal Space Program. That's been happening with Kerbal Space Program is at this point, because the developers went and kept updating the game over and over and over again. There's a whole bunch of really good mods that you can't play on the most recent patch, and you have to downgrade to play them. And that's not good. That's not good. Not at all. And the fact that you can downgrade and not really miss out on anything because, well, they added nothing of any particular value in these updates to make it worth doing over having the mods. That's just even more disappointing. It's also disappointing every time Bethesda updates Skyrim. Like that on the special edition is another one of those things. It's like completely breaking update because the Skyrim script extender is tied very specifically to the version of Skyrim that you're using. And if you allow the game to update when an update is pushed, you are forced to wait for the Skyrim script extender to get updated to that most recent version. And as it turns out, Bethesda had decided to have this little thing called their own mod portal, paid mods, that would get updated on a very regular basis, causing updates to the game when that happened. And there was a period of time when there was updates like monthly, if not faster than that, and it was just awful. It was awful. Just if you have a game that is meant to last with mod support, there has to be a point where you just stop. You have to stop with the updates at some point for modding to really take off. Another reason why I really hate Paradox as well. Because, Paradox, they do lots of updates to all of their games, all of the time. And forces mods to be incompatible with various updates, and it sort of forces modders to either completely abandon their old work or stick around for ages to keep their stuff updated. And then have all of the people complaining to update your mod when you make a mod all of the time, forever and ever. So yeah, that's modding. That's the state of modding. Just by the way, as well as like popularity and all that. This should be Ferrochrome, by the way. As soon as I give power to the thingies. Now that everything is flowing freely. I should have put these like one higher. They should have been here from the beginning. Because I'll be using loaders on the output. Excuse me. Dope. Well, I mixed up my icons completely. Well, fortunately, this is a very easy fix. This is a quite easy fix. There we go. There we go, Ferrochrome. Alright, so I have very easy access on this spot right here on this side. But it still works. It still works. There we go. And that is Ferrochrome. Is there... No, it's just, it needs to cycle. Alright. Glorious Ferrochrome. Huzzah. Need to rename these to the Depot FECR1. Grab you, FECR. I didn't name the station here. SFECR1. Supply to depot. Full cargo, circuit condition, go ahead and do your thing. I will limit this dramatically. And off it goes. Just need to remember to do the supply priority on this ferrochromium alloy. FECR is where? Where does it exist? High tech? Auto-saving. High tech. That's where it is. Right there. DFECR. FECR. There you go. One last thing. Stainless steel. One step closer to our molten stainless steel. Okay. We have to do this process. I should have most of this available on my network. I had mentioned that I would likely off-screen allow the game to run to get into my glorious tech that I needed to get into for those phosphate rocks. That hasn't happened. Quite obviously, that has not happened. This is sitting at 19%. I am really slow producing the science, the green science. Yes, this is the one I think is lacking right now because the good alien samples are being split between these. In particular, it's going off to do other things with the good samples as well. Poor samples, excuse me. You like the rail blocks? Yeah, I use a blueprint book called the Modular Rail System. I got it off of Reddit. There is a link to that on my Discord server, and the way that I've set it up, it's just it's pretty simple. It's just that 4 standard rail segments, slightly modified with extra doohickeys in it, but it's just 4 of these, and then another T intersection over here, with every other on the, I guess you could say on the horizontal. Every other is a double, like, or quad section. That's just, I guess, for looks more than anything else. Didn't really, I wasn't really thinking about it because it's every single one here vertically is like that. Every one vertically is doubled, but squared here. So, interesting pattern. Interesting pattern. Now I have this quad here that after I do one more of these on the left, I would have another 4 bigger ones like this, that way, that way, that way, and that way. But we're probably not going to be expanding like that much in here, since, you know, today is going to be our last stream of this particular playthrough. Speaking of, it is now that time for me to start working towards this stainless steel. Okay, I don't need to worry about that anymore. What I do need to worry about is that phosphate rocks. Yes, this will be the last stream. This is the final stream of PyBlock, because it's not getting views. It's not getting views, and I won't be here these next 2 Sundays. And next week, I won't be, not, well, this coming week I'm streaming, but the following week, the week of Columbus Day, I will not be streaming. So next Sunday, I'm traveling, and the following Sunday, I'm traveling back. So I have to miss those 2 streams anyway. And this particular playthrough has not been performing very well by comparison to the other content on my channel, including the other Pyanodon's tutorials. So yeah, it just hasn't been particularly popular overall. Hi, Ollie. How's my baby? How's the baby? How's that Ollie? How is that Ollie? He has a leaky eye. Leaky right eye. Yeah, is that Ollie? Yeah, you tired? You sleepy? He's a sleepy boy. He's a sleepy boy. Very sleepy boy. There you go. You wanna rest? You want some rest? I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with the 1.54 phosphate rock, because I won't be able to do this right now. That would be a lot. Yeah, that's what I thought. What's replacing it? It's the ABX playthrough, Space Angels. That's going to be on Sundays going forward. And then, the other key point is, once my ABX playthrough, Angels Bob Space Extension, once that is finished, I will be transferring over to do YouTube live streaming, not Twitch. So I will be migrating over to YouTube once my other streaming series has finished. For whatever we do next, whatever follows the ABX playthrough. And I have several reasons for that. I sort of discuss those reasons in my monthly update vlog, my October update vlog that I posted on YouTube yesterday. But just to reiterate, overall performance on Twitch has been very low lately. It's just been a pretty. It's been declining overall. Uh, More than just the uh PyBlock series. The viewership on Twitch has been declining. The fact that Twitch also decided to show automatic mid rolls in September for a period of time for to people without giving creators any control whatsoever over when they appear sort of also is a very, very big black stain on my thoughts about Twitch lately. But also, YouTube has better discoverability than Twitch, just as a major point. I've got 1,040 some odd people subscribed to me on YouTube versus 260 followers on Twitch. So more people would get notified when I go live on YouTube. Plus, there's better discoverability. Not saying that it's good discoverability on YouTube, just that it's better than Twitch. Uh, Also, YouTube has a better split on subscription on the memberships, which is the same as a Twitch sub. I also have a lot more control over the actual details and tiers and stuff for the YouTube memberships. The the emote slots on YouTube also unlock faster with more people becoming members. So there's that on top of everything else. Uh, for reference, the revenue split on that is 70%, 30%, 70-30 versus 50-50 on Twitch. So yeah, it's much better on YouTube, and YouTube has the super chat system, which is direct tipping, as opposed to the closest equivalent on Twitch is bits, but that's still a completely separate system. YouTube doesn't have bits, a system like bits. The super chats I consider to be completely different and separate. They're direct tips. Uh, Anyway, YouTube also doesn't have channel points, which is a little bit sad, and it doesn't, for some reason, YouTube doesn't allow you to use emotes that you've obtained through memberships on standard comments, which I just find incredibly weird. You can only really use them during live chats on streams and premieres, but I'm willing to accept that. The pros vastly outweigh the cons is the idea, and I'm gonna go with it. I am going to go with it in the end. So I need like some amount of phosphate rocks, and while the chitin recipe is honestly the best recipe to use for those phosphate rocks, I'm thinking that I will have to do this out of tree seeds this time around. Yet again, super chats are better for you. Yeah. So also super chats are better for regional currencies. Like you can tip in your local currency on YouTube through the super chat system. It's a lot more user friendly in my mind for people. And there's no like major adjustments for purchase prices of a bit package, for example. Like, I'm sure some people in some areas get royally screwed with the currency conversion for purchasing bits. But with YouTube, it's just a direct have this many Swedish kroner, for example. Just take this amount. Anyway, let's get this sorted. Looks like I need 19.24. Oh god, that's a bit. But not as much as this. So this is This is 30 wood per second. I can very easily just swap this over and place it down there. Did I? Yes, I did. I do have roboports. This can get placed auto-magically for me, and all I really need to do is just take that belt up from below right quick. And that will be what I need for the tree seeds. I will make the tree seeds here. I think that's what I do down here. Yes, I did the tree seeds, and then I did the phosphate rocks off the tree seeds. And I will need a fuel source, so that's... I need tar anyway. You may have noticed the icon for soil has changed for some reason. As of today, soil is different on its icon. There's been a few icon updates now that some people are around and here to have a look at things. Just to reiterate, for some reason Pyanodon changed the Circuit 3 icon too. It now looks like this. Yeah, the Circuit 3 icon is different, and it requires this thing called cooling systems now. I think King Arthur is the one who's mainly been busy, but also Pi has been busy with some art updates too, and various things. So, yeah. Circuit 3's got more expensive. They now need diamonds in the form of advanced coding. Yeah. They now need diamonds and advanced coding for cooling systems. On top of those neuromorphic chips and all of their components that they need. King's also been tweaking the resource spawning system too, so that's also getting updates to it, and there's going to be some sort of a oil node overhaul going through at some point. But yeah, things, lots of updates. There's been some modifications as well to some of the alien life stuff, but I haven't really looked at very specific stuff of what went through today. Anywhoozle, I'm gonna need like lots of things to be brought in on this train station in here. But first, I want to, well, let's pin this. I need to get that line, belt line brought up, so I can work towards this stainless steel. Of course, if I do manage to get through stainless steel today, which it looks like I basically will, once this is done, I think this is also moving stacked stuff too. Let me check that. Once that's done, I will get into making the advanced small parts. That will be what I work on getting. You don't have any red wires? Jeez. Speaking of which, the wire thing on these happens to be caused... The issue with the wires is because of nanobots. I think come to that conclusion that the missing wire between the two thingies is simply nanobots not working correctly to get that wire placed. Just a function of that, because in my Crastorio playthrough, where I don't have nanobots, yeah, bots out of personal logistics, personal roboport robots placing down the thingies, absolutely puts the wires there. As far as I am aware, if there's a ghost wire here, it'll get placed if placed by bots. But anyway, this station needs to be a lot bigger than this. A lot bigger than this. I also need output Stuffs. Output stuffs, yes. Things. Stuffs and things. This type of a setup. That needs to be one of those. There we go. That. So this is going to be the molten steel. Molten steel in that I need. All of this stuff is local, so I need the cobalt extract, ferrochrome, but also niobium plate and nickel and copper. So 1, 2, 3 more requester stations than what I currently have, as well as the loading station. So let me grab something like that. Put that in here to get rid of the train stop names, so that ideally it doesn't overwrite stuff. Also get rid of all of that belt for me, as well as those splitters. I will also get rid of the loaders. Go ahead, save that blueprint, and then I can just paste over like so, and get rid of those, because that's going to be a regular station. Regular old loading station. And then, do I need to make the adjustment here? Yes. I do need to cut and paste one tile over. And this, I need to do that so that this track can allow trains to go to this track. That's it. That's the only reason. I had to move it over one tile, or one train rail segment over, which is actually a 2 tiles. One segment over, just so that this can go here. Because otherwise it can't. It can't do that on that previous spacing. Also, I'm perpetually continuing to learn about various aspects of the rail things, chain signals, and all that. Basically, like, I don't think a lot of this... Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of the chain signals I use are pretty redundant in the end, but you know what? I use them anyway. I shall use them anyway. Like here, I think these are technically redundant. I don't need these at all, because they always stop at the furthest item in the chain. So if there's anything in here anyway, anything other, and all other trains trying to leave are just gonna stop here. Like nothing's gonna stop here. If it's all chain signals, I don't think anything ever stops here. So why does it even exist in the first place? I don't know. And if I don't have that, then I don't need this spacing either to allow that to be there. And you can build a lot tighter on the spacing for these stations. Anyway, all that being said, let's get power sorted out here for these various things. This guy's gonna be a regular station. get those bulk loaders. Yep, that's the spacing. Okay, you supply stainless steel 1. This will be R copper at stainless steel 1. R nickel at stainless steel 1. R neo at SS1, stainless steel 1. Do I have all those? See, this put the thingies down. There's both the wire there. Really. R and steel at SS1 and R cobalt extract at SS1, and lastly R FeCr at SS1. That should be all I truly need here. I will need, of course, the 13, aka 14 items. Automated factories. I'm apparently carrying 10. Oh well. Two lines of 7, giving me tree seeds. You're thinking of streaming The Old Republic, Star Wars The Old Republic. Well, I would have a look and see what viewership is like. Do some research. Do some research on the category. See what's going on there. How much does this actually make? Of the seeds? 15. I need 1539. Well, that sort of answers that for me. This is gonna be a little bit more complex, or I can just do another gap 1. Just move it 1. Just like so. Yeah, just have a look, see what people are watching these days. Speaking of other video games, I didn't really discuss what I've been playing lately. I've been continuing on with PC Building Simulator. That was a wonderful gift from Boiled Nerves. I have been playing that a lot lately. There's just something about building computers that I enjoy doing. That I particularly enjoy doing. I'm just gonna do this. That is not. Yeah, that's the one. The orientation that I need there. I have also, at this point, gotten into playing a new free game. Did you know that there's a new free game that is released, a role playing game at that's new and has released? It's actually wonderful. There's been some hype behind this game. It's also completely and utterly anime. So there's that too. What is it here? I need to do the thing. Genshin Impact. That's the name of the thing. By a Chinese game developer. Completely free to play, and it's quote unquote multiplayer. but it's a single player game, sort of like in a very similar vein to Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, in terms of the type of like exploration focus in that game. But it's also like action RPG mechanics in terms of combat. And of course, it's free for a reason, right? They have a they have a monetization system for that game, and it is in the form of gacha mechanics. Oh boy, you collect characters. It's a character collection game, as well as really good weapon collection game. But you can get the currency used through playing in the game, and it is pretty generous. It is pretty generous from what I've seen. So it's not the most egregious. Not the most egregious. And I have actually been enjoying the gameplay of it thus far. It does seem to be pretty good. But who knows, that may be completely different by the time I get to like the end of things and get to the longer term type of content to keep you playing. It may be completely different than that, but from what I've seen, people playing it, people doing actual reviews of it. Uh, I've read PC Gamer stuff on this game. It seems pretty decent, pretty good type of game that I play, that I like playing, all that good stuff. Would recommend, especially right now because it's just recently released and there's a whole bunch of free stuff that they're giving out to people because of the release being here at this point. A lot of extra goodies because it's release. So yeah, I'm just helping along with the production of the wood here. It needs a little bit of help, apparently, with the wood. I don't need that line at all. Why does that line even exist? Oh, because it's, yeah, lots of stuff. And it does get stacked. So that's good to know. Okay, good. They are taking this stuff away. Let us continue working towards this stainless steel, the most stainless of stainless. You are going to output just like so. Otherwise, I think this is like fine. Just add power with my like 30 remaining thingies. Oh, it's so unfortunate. Here, I will do this. I don't like having to do this, but I will do this. See, with it being there, I have to do that there. But with that there, I can do that like there, right there, like so. Da-da, power. And then one more at the end. Huzzah, power. Glorious power. I like power. Don't. Just don't. If I didn't do it on the other side, no point doing it on this side. There we go. But my point is that Genshin Impact, which is brand new, also has multiplayer co-op, like dungeon stuff that you can do in co-op, which, yeah, it's interesting. It's also playable on, like, everything, somehow. It's a mobile game that is also now on PC and PS4 and all this other stuff, but it's so beautiful. I'm just really taken by the art style in particular. It's really good. And Ollie is next to me, sleeping. Actually, just sleeping all splayed out. Yes, I'm pets. Have the pets. Have the pets. Okay. Next. Let's get the wood processed into the phosphates. Do I even have the atomizers? I have plenty of atomizers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will need a solid fuel brought in. I will also need a redundant line, a secondary line for these rocks, because, yeah, we need multiple tree seeds. More than the yellow belt can handle. Up to 16. Okay, so 7 is 14, 8 is another 2, so this last one is just, you know, a completely separate belt line in. And I'm doing this spacing for a very specific reason, and that is because I will have my fuel on this line coming in. And I will use an extended thingy for all of that. I don't like designing that way, but yeah, I'll stick it. I'll just use regular inserters. So I'm using regular inserters here because if I do the side loading on deadlocks, that's gonna be a little bit more tricky for the proper throughput, because it's only gonna unload one lane, not both. Just point of trivia with Factorio and Factorio's loaders, you can't do this. You can't do this because it actually is blocked. It is actually blocked fully with Factorio loaders. You can only really do this with these deadlock loaders. It's interesting. Very interesting. Question is, can this do 2 at stack size 2? 2 per second? I think so. I'll find out pretty quick. I shall find out pretty quick. You have power? Yes, you now have the power. I need a tar build. Standard tar build. I will copy from what I just built, I think. Right here. This dude. Getting rid of this stuff in here, these guys. Don't need these guys. Think that's about everything in there. Among that stuff. Save. Have a check. Okay, those. And that were missed. Then I can paste this down wherever I want. I'm going to paste this down over here on this side. And I'll bring the coal across. Because I should have enough, coke. I should have enough coke to spare. Absolutely. I would be surprised if I didn't have enough coke to spare out of this. Oh, I need resources. Where did I park my car? There it is. Let's get in and get my car. The vehicle! And get closer to my mall. Because, yeah, I have to go all the way over there for my bots to deliver to me. I have to remember to stay in my logistic zone a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. We're actually making really good progress today. I am very much surprised by this. Just how much progress I've been able to make today. decisions I've made rather quickly, because that's done now. As well as all of the stuff for the Ferrochrome. Just waiting on this to move. Right, I don't think this is self-starting. So I need to throw a little bit of wood at that to get it going. Can I make it self-starting? I think yes, I can. I could do that. And I can do that by having... So I'm going to sit here and wait for folks, the bots, to deliver for me. So what I'll do is put one of these with an output and one of those. In here, I'm going to request wood. Just regular wood. Wood is never self-starting. I will make it self-starting by requiring this request. And by self-starting, I mean I'm going to place it and make it so that my logistics bots can start it for me. And by doing this, by requesting the wood to make the seeds, it will go, because I have wood provided on my network in my mall. My throat. Oh my goodness. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more difficult than I would like. Alright. That, my friends, will be how I do that. Go here. And eliminate that one. Yeah, I can't. I can't. It's... I have to delete that and that to do that, and then move it down. Like so. So there we go. It just requires bots to go in and do stuff for me. So once that happens, where the wood is brought in, it'll make tree seeds, that'll make seedlings, and it'll go and it will send the seedlings into here, and everything will be awesome. We'll be good to go as my robots continue to bring me stuff. And then I can copy and paste this anywhere I need the wood, and it'll just eventually start working for me without needing any of my outside input. Which is how I define self-starting. Just something that I can plop down and have the robots build, and I don't have to manually go in to make it move. That's how I will define that. It's fully automated and starts working without a manual intervention. And by doing it this way, letting the robots add the initial wood, that will make it exactly how I want it. The only issue, of course, is, well, I need to redo those to input priority from the other side. That's the only minor thing, more advanced thing to make note of. Very, very important. So that over time, it won't, like, keep feeding with the bots in on there. Just at some point, I will need to just put a delete order on those once it is fully moving. So how many how much stuff do I have? Do I have enough to keep going at this point? I think I do. Just about. Have the stuff. Gosh, I have to get used to the game running less than 60 frames as well, and the yellow belts being so slow, because I am very much used to my Factorio playthrough now, where I have the faster belts, and the Angels playthrough, where I also have the faster belts, and both of them are running at the full 60 frames. It's like, oh boy, this is very much different. Very much different than those other playthroughs. We're also like 3 minutes from my regularly scheduled break, so let's get as much done as possible before the halfway point here. And I'm going down. Down? No, up. Up, up, and away we go. Ah, yes, I also managed to get the next thingies there. There we go. Ta-da! Really? Give it power. Power is good. Power is awesome. I like power. Power is pretty good stuff. Speaking of power, I have plenty to spare of the power today. And all of this is going into like two tar processing units and a reformer. Do I have reformers? No. Give me reformers. And I should have plenty of tar processing units here. 1, 2. Creosote, aromatics. Could just direct feed. I mean, yeah, there's a ratio, but who cares? I don't. Obviously. I do not give any cares. There we go. That will be that into the glorious reformer here at the very end, and that is my alarm saying to me that we are halfway through the stream, and it is time to take the regularly scheduled break of a few minutes. I need a electrolyzer that I'll go ahead and place down at this point. Electrolyzer. Where are you? Here. Electrolyzer. Electrolyze. Thing. Vent. And water. Has King adjusted the vents yet? And the sinkholes? I know we got a whole bunch of updates today, but I don't know if those were updated at this point. They were updated. They were updated. Okay. That's a pretty big one. So I don't need nearly as many sinkholes as I used to. I can immediately tell that this was updated because it's vastly increased the amount of stuff per voiding cycle. So now the voiding cycle is completely different. Void 20,000 units every 0.1 seconds. Yeah, That's gonna void anything you can throw at it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it is time to take a break. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. For those watching the VODs on YouTube, do all of the social stuff down below, etc., etc. I will see you all for the second half of the stream in the next episode. For those of you watching live, I will be back in a few minutes after our break. See you soon.